All right. Good day. This is Justin Pineda, and for today's module, we'll be talking about file recovery. Okay? Because file recovery is one of the basic and common activities that we do in computer forensics. Now, for the objective, since this is a walkthrough exercise, we just wanted to understand how the file recovery works. And the second one is to be able to use different recovery tools for investigation. So, not only for investigation, sometimes you can use this for your personal use if you want to extract or recover some of your files. So these are the prerequisites. So you have your Recuva software and Puran file recovery. These are some of the tools that you can use. Although, yeah, there are other tools that you can use to recover files. You have your PC running Windows, Internet, and then your MS Office. Okay. Um, so let's go to the theoretical part. So the theoretical part actually builds the foundation for you to understand why we need to do file recovery and why file recovery is possible. So the first question is why can you recover deleted files and explain how the file recovery works because the common misconception is once you empty the recycle bin, you delete the file and you empty the recycle bin, it's gone. It's actually not true. The second is why do you think some deleted files are not fully recoverable? Some in some of the operations, you can see that okay, some files are there. Okay, some are we cannot open it, but they're able to find it there's a file that existed. And then number three, how can you permanently delete the file? Okay, i.e., it can no longer be recovered without physically destroying the file, and then explain the process. So we'll try to understand and briefly explain these um, salient points. No? So first, for file recovery, okay, so the basics here would be when you delete a file, because everything is virtual here, it is not really erased and it continues existing on the hard drive. Right? So it's still there, but what we need to understand would be the concept of pointers. The OS will keep track of where the files are on a hard drive through what we call the pointer. So it's the pointer that would point where the specific location of the file is. Now, once when you need it, okay, it's the pointer that will locate that file and then do what you have to do. You want to execute it, run, delete, and so on. So that's the help, that's the guide. This is the pointer. Now, when you delete a file, the OS removes the pointer and marks the sector containing the file's data as available. So the pointer is removed, but the file remains. Now, from the file system's point of view, the file is no longer present on your hard drive, and the sectors containing its data are considered free space. Okay, so and this explains a lot of things. So that's why there are items that you can recover. There are items that you can fully recover because it's still there. Right? It's still in that particular space. And there are files that can be partially be recoverable. Some are not because it depends on the number of times that the that particular space is overwritten. Oth- Otherwise, if it's still there, then you can attempt to recover, and most likely you can recover it. All right, so that's basically the concept of file recovery. Now, so it raises a lot of questions. Like, for example, in a personal level, that's fine if you're using your own machine, okay, because I can recover my own files. But what about when you are in the company, when you're working, when you're in the enterprise? Of course, you do not want if the computer issued to you. is something that was used before by a former employee. Okay, the IT and the security team, um, they both don't want you to be able to retrieve those files. No, so and otherwise they have to provide you with a new machine. But a lot of organizations don't do that if it's still brand new, or if the employee just used this for 3 months and so on. Okay, so it would be impractical um, to buy a new device just for you, etc. So it depends. Sometimes they buy, sometimes they don't. Um, but the point here is there has to be what we call a data retention and destruction policy for any organization. So when we talk about data retention, it talks about the length, okay, of time that the data can be stored depending on the category. So if it's confidential, if it is public, if it is um, classified or highly confidential, there is a corresponding data retention period for that. It can only stay there for 1 day. It can only stay there for 1 year. And usually, um, organizations, the GRC teams, cybersecurity teams, and together with the legal team would be able to provide the values here. So there's a standard retention period for certain documents, but you can customize it um, based on your um, based on the business requirements, right? So that's one. So I have shared a sample data destruction policy. Okay, here. Okay, and similar with data retention. So they go hand in hand. So once you have defined data retention, afterwards it has to be purged or removed, from the um, from the database, from the machine, etc. Now, what does it have to do with destruction? So obviously, we need to make sure that the data can no longer be accessed, can no longer be retrieved when data retention life cycle or the data retention time has been reached. So there are different ways to do that, and the easiest would be to physically destroy the media, the hard disk. But assuming, again, for practicality purposes, assuming we cannot do that because of cost issues and so on, there is a different mechanism for that. So there's also what we call purging, wherein you will put the hard disk in a um, highly magnetized equipment, and then it will destroy the contents, and then later on physically destroy it, and then put some holes on the hard disk. But the most common would be what we call clearing. So here's the definition from the ID123.io. Now, if comprehensive data removal from the media is not required, then non-specialist staff or contractors may carry out clearing. Typical clearing programs use sequential writes of pattern data, okay, ensuring that data is not easily recovered using standard techniques and programs. So it means overwriting with a pattern data, usually binary, like ones and zeros. Overwrite the hard drive, and then with ones and zeros, and then from there, um, do it for how many iterations, and then run the recovery tool and see if you can retrieve data, until such time that you can no longer retrieve any data because of the number of times it's overwritten. So these are the different things that the organizations have to define. But again, for some organizations, it's really to physically destroy the media and will no longer be used. So there, these are the important points for file recovery. So for security guys, you need to be able to come up with data retention and destruction policy. Okay. Now let's go to the demo walkthrough. So there are two files, two applications here. The first one is Recuva, and the second one is Puran file recovery. So initially, so if your computer is new and you have not done anything to it yet, you have not deleted, and try creating files, downloading files, and deleting it, just to see if these two tools are working fine. Now you need to download this from the actual websites because you want to make sure that it's legitimate, it's clean, and because antivirus, anti-malware tools will treat this as something suspicious because it's attempting to retrieve some old files back. Okay, so let's see. We have here. I think this is the Recuva one. Okay, so it will tell you welcome to Recuva Wizard. Once, assuming you have installed this, pretty straightforward. You just have to install it like normal application. Okay, next. Okay, show all files. You can choose if it's all files, pictures, music, documents, video, compressed, or email. Let's say, yeah, all files. Okay, so I'm not sure, so search everywhere on my media card or iPad, in my documents, in the recycle bin, or specific location if you want to narrow down the search. No? So let's say I'm not sure. Okay, so thank you, Recover is ready to search for your files. So there is a normal scan and there's a deep scan. Okay, so you do deep scan. Okay, if previous scans have failed to find your files, note that this may take over an hour on a large drive. So up to you to choose. So let's see. Let's just do a normal scan, start, and then it will tell you what stage you are in. Stage one, scanning drive for deleted files. Okay, so current progress. So if it's going to be a normal scan, it's pretty fast. Although there might be missed recovery. So analyzing the damage, analyze file contents, and then it will give you the okay the file. So it will tell you that when it was last modified, etc. So just 2024. Okay. And then the important here would be the state and the comment. So if the state says excellent, it will show you some a color green. It means you can recover this file. Okay. And then it says no overwritten clusters detected. So again, we're talking about um overwriting it. Then you have here poor. Okay, you see yellow if it is poor because the file is overwritten with C users, etc., etc. And then you also see something like this. If it is red, it will tell you that it is unrecoverable because again, the file is overwritten already. So you will see a red. So this is how the Recuva works. It will tell you the version of your machine, processor, RAM, okay, and the OS version. Okay, so that is for Recuva. Now let's go to so you can browse through and explore the app if you want to. Now let's go to Puran. So the starting point here would be to select a language, English, and then afterwards the UI is not so good because it looks old. It looks like early 2000s. So you can do deep scans to full scan, find lost files. Okay, scan custom list, physical drive, preview window, and then search. Okay, so you can just press OK, then choose a partition, like for example, the C drive, and then just say scan, and then it will scan. So this is like in the Recuva's normal scan. So it will provide with the scan results. And then okay, you have 1039 files found, and then you can choose a category: pictures, music, documents, videos, and files. So you can try pictures. Okay, you can see. Okay, if you can. Okay, there is a document here for also. So let's see all files. You can see the ones that are excellent. Okay, and then um, there are also poor. So it's just excellent and poor, and there's also good. Okay, so there, no. So and then you can recover if you click recover. Okay, so you can do a deep scan later, a full scan, whatever type of scan you want, but it will take more time. All right. So again, no? So these are some of the tools that you can use, Recuva and Puran File Recovery. There are other tools that you can use. There are paid ones, and I think they are more. They claim they are more aggressive, and they will yield more results. So it may be good to explore it too. But for this demonstration, we use two free applications for you to use, no? And recover the files that you have deleted accidentally or part of the routine or intentionally, which may be of use for you on a personal level or through because of some legal or um, um, security reasons. So there. Okay, so for any more questions, you may send an email, put a comment, and then we'll see each other in the next video. Thank you so much.